Matter if you hear it. Hello everybody and welcome to Digibro versus everybody! The show where I'm gonna fight the whole internet while playing Phantasy Star Online 2. I don't know how... Oh, okay. So it seems that the people who are obviously need to be at the front of the line have put exclamation points in their names so that they would actually be at the top of the Discord. Just pretty ingenious. I need to turn off the fucking game audio. Why am I able to hear that? I will not be able to hear the people at all.
To close the tweaker and reopen it.
No, I just gotta go into the sound settings. I did this earlier. Okay, sorry about that. Alright, so we're probably gonna bring in What the What first because he's obviously had the longest running campaign of Digibro. The fucking mic's in the way of my keyboard. On the whole internet. He's basically built his entire identity around
He had the first comment on that bitch.
But anyways, I'm not gonna say too much about him. I'll let him speak for himself. How do I get him in here? How do I just call him? Oh wait, unserver mute him. Hello? What the what? You there? I can barely hear you. You sound extreme. I'm gonna turn you all the way up. I don't know. I don't hear anything.
Are they just not coming since I didn't bring?
Oh, I hear somebody now. Are they like having are they trying to organize multiple people on their end to like? Maybe you gotta turn down your stream audio. I could hear it too loud. Guys, I'm here to argue. I'm here to fight somebody. Should I bail on? The only reason I chose What the What first is that they were literally in there like fucking ages ago. They were like waiting 4 hours for they were like in the chat the moment the video went up. Okay, I'm sick of hearing the chatter from their side, so I'm just going to mute them for now. You get to wait. Sorry, what? I don't know what the fuck was happening on your end. Wada put a thing in his name. This is the opposite end of the spectrum.
His quality.
Can you understand what he was saying?
He hasn't unmuted himself in the Discord chat, so no one can hear him unless they're listening to the stream, which is on delay. He's so stupid. Wait, I'm talking?
You're amazing, Wada. You're amazing for Wait, did you not even know you were live? Did
no,
you just?
I did not.
Were you just ranting to a friend?
Hey, Digi.
Well, that was very convenient that I happened to unmute you right at the moment that you explained why nobody could hear me. So now I'm gonna go back to What the What.
Twitch chat as well, so I can actually hear you.
Now he'll probably understand.
Yeah. So am I?
Yep, you're muted. What the What? Are you there? Hello?
Yeah.
Alright, sorry about that. I fucking had no idea I had you muted. What's going on? What do you want to argue about today?
Well, there's a lot of different things.
Okay.
But the main one. Sorry, I'm out in public trying not to be too loud. Gotta make sure you don't hear all their loud stuff.
It's fine. I can hear you pretty okay. Although there is this insanely loud blinging noise that keeps cutting in. I think it's coming from the Discord. So if somebody could explain how to make that go away, that would be great. But anyway, continue.
Well, I'm What the What.
Hello.
You're Cancer.
I'm Cancer? Is that what you said?
You're Cancer. Sean, stop that. You're Cancer. Sean.
Alright, who am I arguing with? Am I arguing with everyone in the room or just you?
Nah. If you want to argue with Sean, that's fine. Go ahead, Sean. What do you want to say?
Sean! Sean! The fuck is happening? Do I need to give you guys a minute? Like, do you need another minute?
Oh,
alright, I'll give you a minute.
We have a fatty to light up, baby.
Yeah, alright, You want to do that before I start the next call? I haven't even done anything in the game yet. We need to accept a quest and like go into the game. Also, I haven't been able to read the chat. Have you been reading it?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay.
Nothing exciting.
All right, just making sure that everybody knows what the fuck is
Somebody said it
happening.
was thick. Oh no.
We gotta that fucking sound is gonna drive me absolutely insane. Please, someone in the Twitch, if anybody knows how to make that noise stop. I think you guys can probably hear it too because I'm recording the disable follower notifications on what? On Twitch? Is it on Twitch? Is that the problem? Where do I? Oh, is it these? Hold on. How the fuck do I do such a thing? Okay. I had to learn an entirely new program in order to do this. If I just turn off the alert box, will that make it stop? Alright, I disabled the alert box entirely, so I think that might have done it. I only included it because like the package, the package deal that they had of like all the recommended like things to put on your stream, that was like one of them, and I was like, oh, that seems like something people would like to get a notification when they're you know, contributing. Here's to the great state of Massachusetts, where marijuana is legal for recreational use.
Such an edgelord.
Alright, who should I argue with? Chat, tell me who to argue with. The people with exclamations in their names are Mr. Meatman, Simbro, What the What, who apparently still probably needs a minute, Wada, Santa, well, after that it goes down to other names.
Baby, we can't do this. We're gonna get kicked off Twitch.
Will we get kicked off Twitch? Why? It's legal.
No, not on Twitch.
Well, they don't know that. Pedantic Romantic, is he in the list? Alright, Rashid, rather.
We probably gotta ash this.
I don't even see. Oh, is it the? Alright, we'll bring in.
I'm not ready for the stream to be taken down.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, Pedro, what is going on?
Nothing much, just editing a Mother's Basement video.
Excellent.
Which is actually
My
the
favorite.
center point of my beef. I've come in with fire, did you? You thought you would have an ally in me, but you were mistaken.
Alright,
Okay?
alright. Someone who's willing to actually argue, that's good.
Listen, you know Jeff uploads twice a week. You know he usually uploads on Saturdays, and you also know that I edit for the man.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that you could have put a little more consideration into your timing here, and maybe not put it on a Friday night, where I would be very likely to be putting one of those videos together and have to now do so simultaneously while listening to this whole event go down. I'm very upset with the state of affairs, Digibro.
Does event go down just mean me talking about Jeff at all?
Oh, I mean, if that comes up, sure, but I just, you know me, I'm the Digibro content machine. I need it all. I can't fucking escape the meta hole.
Yeah. The meta hole, I just recorded the finale of the meta hole, or finished editing it, so
sick.
That's happening. So, alright, exactly what is your beef? Because I'm not sure how to formulate an argument with you yet.
My beef is that you timed this stream when I would be likely to be editing a video for Jeff.
Oh, okay.
When you had
now I
all the
understand.
information available to you to know that this would be a very inconvenient time for me.
How would I know that Jeff uploads on Saturdays?
Twice a week, every Saturday. And like,
When
every
do you think
Tuesday.
is the last time I watched a Mother's Basement video?
You're still subscribed.
No, I'm not. What are you talking about?
Did you not? You just... Maybe it was because the video like came out way after you made it, but in a recent video you mentioned... No, I think it was the Geckos. You mentioned
People are
how...
saying move on.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
Oh, well, you're getting killed, so you're not
Not entertaining
angry
enough.
enough, I guess, probably.
Yeah, sorry.
Or just my beef is
Bye,
too
girl.
meandering and weird.
I'm not even sure. There you are.
Oh, by the way,
Yes?
did you unmute the right what the what? Because there's a ton of them here.
The one with the exclamation point's the one I unmuted. I don't know
There were
what
two
the
with
real
exclamation
one is.
points. One of them just unexclamation pointed. Maybe
I'll try them again. Maybe they're ready now. We'll see what
there's
happens.
a lot of them, and I would honestly suspect that the real one is hiding without an exclamation point. That would make sense.
Why would they? So you're thinking that it's just a bunch of dummy accounts to waste time? Is that your theory?
That seems the likeliest.
Well, I'll wait for them to sort themselves out, and they can contact me at the moment they feel ready.
Oh, also, if you didn't know, Evangeline is the artist formerly known as Joji Matthews.
Okay.
So there's just some context. You're familiar with them.
Yeah. All right. I'm muting you. You're boring me now. Let's get Mr. Meatman. I'm sure he's fucking pissed about something. Mr. Meatman, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
What the fuck is that voice?
Oh, hi. Hi there. Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Waving at you.
Hello.
Alright, did you get an argument for you? Hello?
Yes.
All right.
Please.
So, what do you consider to be the definition of a troll?
The definition
'Cause
of a troll.
Yeah, because I don't think I follow what you'd call troll. Because I don't think I'm a troll myself. Because I don't think I've done anything, malicious. I don't think I've done anything like evil, like sending death threats. I've never done that. No one I've ever associated with has done that. Yet I was accused of that. Now I get comments every so often. Wow, you're the guy who sent Digibro death threats. What a fucking joke.
I have my doubts
whatever.
about whether you've received any comments like that, because I really don't think anybody gives a fuck. But you can continue with
people
it.
gave a fuck early about it. You think I'm lying?
I'm not necessarily saying you're lying. Merely, I am raising a doubt on how much I believe you and the sincerity of your tone.
What do you mean, the sincerity of my tone?
I mean to say that you
think
speak
I'm a
like you are
fucking
in
what the
a
what?
cartoon, and like you are some sort of, like you speak in this roundabout nature as though you are trying to construct some kind of,
Right
thing.
now, or when I first came
Right-
in? 'Cause
right
I was
now.
just saying hi. No, this is my fucking voice.
You have a weird ass voice. Just letting you know.
Okay. Well, thanks.
Continue.
Alright, so what's a troll, Digi?
I don't really know how I would define a troll. I don't know if I have like a concrete idea of it. I would say it's more of something that if you saw someone doing something you would describe as trolling, then in that moment that person might be characterized as a troll. I don't think anybody just is a troll. That's
Okay.
doesn't really make sense.
Okay, so what did I do that was trolling?
Well, I remember a time that you went into sent me my own coordinates to my address on Discord. They weren't accurate, but I don't know what there could possibly intent could be behind that other than to try to incite some kind of terror.
No. What else?
I mean, that's already an example. I don't have to go any further than that. Do you have a
Okay.
defense for that? Or if not, then there you go. That is trolling.
That's trolling.
Yeah.
Nah, I don't think that's trolling.
Well, then we
fucking
disagree.
I say, oh look,
People
there's
are
an
saying
address. Did
They're
someone
saying
fucking
next?
send me that?
That's
They're
awful
saying
quick.
next because you don't have a fucking
you
argument.
Think so?
I want him to. I don't think he needs to leave that
I'm just
quickly.
saying, people are saying next, in the chat.
All right. Well,
Because
I'm
they're
gonna let him
realizing
stay a little
realizing
longer.
their fucking god isn't all fucking powerful. They're saying, wow, Digibro doesn't have an argument, so that means shut him down.
All right.
shut him
Well,
down.
hold on. I made an argument. My argument is that it is trolling to send someone their address, so coordinates
Yeah,
to
but
their
it's
address.
not your address. It's a
Well,
fucking
you
address.
didn't know that. It was. I mean, it
What?
was in my city, so you obviously thought
Yeah,
it was my
in your
place.
city. I didn't think it was your fucking place.
Oh,
I don't
you're
know.
full of
Somebody
shit.
fucking sent me that, and I don't fucking
Look,
care.
later
I don't know
on,
about
somebody else sent me the
Okay,
same
alright.
coordinates, and then later sent me a Google Images of my actual house. This person was actually a fan who was actually trying to inform me of how I had doxed myself. Now, his coordinates were wrong, but those coordinates were what had gotten out, whereas the actual... he actually knew where I lived, but you guys didn't because he didn't figure out the coordinates correctly.
So is he a troll?
I don't know. I don't know the nature of how those coordinates got out. I don't know if he's the one who leaked them or if he found them and tried to prove them correct. I don't really know what he was going for with his intentions, but he made it clear to me that his intent, at least in sending it to me, was to tell me to, you know, to warn me that other people had that information, and to, you know, be more careful in the future.
All right.
And then I, you know, scrubbed through and took all the incriminating evidence of where I lived off the internet, so so that it wouldn't be found. So.
Getting messaged. What is this? Shut the fuck up, nigger.
All right, you have any more?
Not really.
All right, well.
Talk about it. Yeah, people are just messaging me now. All right, Digi. You know what? It's been a good day. I'm gonna fucking go to bed soon. Let's collab sometime. You know. Let's
on
fucking
what?
brush everything behind us.
What do you want to collab on? What do you do exactly? Like, do you have a?
I make videos.
What kind of video would you want to do with me?
Like, I mean,
what,
like, I don't
in
have
what
anything
way
on
do you
mind
think
right
like
now.
our voices? Well, think about something that would, you know, that would involve both of us, you know, like equal measures of our talents together. You know, coalescing into something that would be good because it was, you know, it was two great creators working together. That's what I want to see.
Like, yeah, no, well, like, here's the thing, like, what was it? I've been friends with Mumkey for, like, I forgot, like, how long now, but, like, I didn't think, like, it took me, like, half a year to, like, think of anything to do with them. I'll fucking, like, if I think of something, I'll fucking message you somehow. I think.
Alright, well, you're gonna need to give me a pretty high quality proposal. My time is worth a lot of money, so.
Of course, thank you. All right, you can mute me now. Bye, everyone.
Right. That's it for Mr. Meatman. Alrighty, I think that went pretty well. Who should I bring in next? Who do we want? Let's go with Slim Bro. He's been in there for a while. Slim Bro, what up?
Hello?
Hello, what's going on?
It's going good. How you doing, Digi?
I'm doing great. What do you want to argue with me about?
Are you familiar with the series Uma Musume?
Uma Musume. That's the one with the horse girls.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly right. So, do you think that horse girls or cat girls are more attractive?
I would say cat girls because personally I don't like horses.
That is objectively wrong. And I'll prove you why.
Alright. Objectively.
So, objectively. There's no subjectivity here.
Okay.
Because subjectivity doesn't exist.
Alright. Hit me.
Horse girls have exactly how many udders? 4.
Alright.
That's twice as many as cats. Right?
Wait, don't cats have like 6 fucking nipples?
That's irrelevant.
I'm pretty sure when my cat gave birth, there were 6 of those fucking nipples on there. Yeah, there you go.
The udders are larger, which means more milk. It means bigger boobies.
I've always been a DFC guy, so that's not really gonna sway me very hard, you know?
All right. Point taken. The girls in Uma Musume have the kicking power. You know, they have horsepower.
That's true.
They're fast girls.
Cat's got 9 lives though. That means you can choke her as much as you want, and if you go a little too far, she's still gonna be around.
But they're still fragile. Well, horses are powerful. You know, they're strong.
That's fair.
They can take up a lot of.
I will say that the thought of getting to like get horseback rides from my centaur waifu is nice, but you have to have the right centaur. Like, you know, she's like a feminist, like, you know, you know. She doesn't want to be seen like with them like giving rides to men in front of young girls or something like that. Then, you know, that's noble. But right. I would rather have the one that's gonna give me the piggyback rides. You know, I'm just saying.
So you're talking about the centaur. Centaurs and cowgirls are different things, though.
Okay.
Like,
I haven't actually watched the Horse Girl show, so I'm not sure if there's like a unique take on the Monster Musume in that show or something. Like...
No, it's basically like a cat girl, but they're just horses. Like,
okay.
They just have horse ears and horse tails.
Oh, so they don't even have horse bodies. They're just girls with horse attributes.
No, they're not like the centaur show.
Oh, well, okay. In that case, I definitely go cat girls just because, like, to me, if you took a human girl and accented her with horse, you've just made it worse. Like, horse is the last thing. Like, cats, I kind of get why, like, you know, there are certain traits cats have that we would want a woman to have sexually, you know, like the ability to like arch into like a fucking backwards 90-degree angle, and that's why cat girls are popular. I think horse girls are just like the autism of anime fans and the need to just categorically put every fucking animal onto a girl, and like we have to make like soda can girls like Aki-kan and stuff. It's just like, if you can't,
And girls are okay with being horses.
yeah, oh, girls love horses.
Yeah.
You know, so
All the
it's,
autistic girls love horses.
I think the only reason you think cat girls are more attractive is because it's been collectively put into your system. There's so many cat girls out there that you think, well, they're just like, you just automatically assume they're cute because it's been so prevalent in so many animes. While horse girls are a new thing, you know, they're the new fad.
I will grant you that I don't think I was as interested in cat girls like when I first got into anime as I got, you know, progressively from seeing so many of them. But I don't know if I would get used to horse girls the same way, you know? I have a strong prejudice against horses. Like, if horses were people, I'd be racist against horses. So
Why? What's wrong with horses? Horses,
they're gross, they're smelly, they're dumb as fuck. I don't really have to argue about this. Maddox already did this on Biggest Problem, and you know, as much as I would love to discard everything Maddox has ever said, he was right about horses all along.
Okay, point taken. All right, that's a good argument. You can go on now to another person.
All right, I'll move on.
People are saying put Henry on the line. Like 6 people have said that.
Who? Henry? Is that just the name that I'm looking for?
Sure. Fucking Henry.
Okay, Henry. What's up, Henry?
Hello, it is me, Henry. And first of all, first thing on the agenda, you kind of messed up with this stream. Like, what's stopping anyone from coming in here saying the N-word and then getting you banned off Twitch?
Will you actually get banned off Twitch for that?
Yes, you can get banned off. That I've got many people. Okay, never mind. Yeah, but yeah, that's also.
I mean,
yeah, no.
If I get banned off Twitch, we'll just have to move to YouTube, I guess, because I don't think they're banning people for that reason.
Also, you're gonna get a bunch of people just say next the entire time because they just want to talk. They just want to argue with you.
That does make sense. Is it like the same? I don't know how many people are watching How many people are watching the stream?
Like 600, 700.
Holy shit! That's this is probably the most active live stream I've ever done. So, yeah.
Yeah, because you're doing the whole Scott Pilgrim thing, you know.
Oh, the seven X evil X's. Yeah, I guess so.
No, versus the world. Anyway.
Oh.
Basically, the thing that I wanted to argue about was lowlies.
All right.
You say that it's well, you claim that it's like morally okay to like promote that stuff, right?
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay, I'd say no because it's like, what is like people who watch that sort of stuff later go on and look for like real stuff, the real thing.
That's not true. You have no evidence to prove that. That's just something that sounds like it makes sense.
No. I have actually been on the. You know who Shadman is? I've been on his server, and there's this guy, or many guys actually, who fucking turned to the dark side and had been spreading the real thing with like files.
I mean,
and you had to,
look,
like, unlock them.
It would not be surprising that there would be people like that amidst people who like Lolicon, but I don't think that those things are like, you know, like they have to go hand in hand. Like, it's just people who are fucking. It's the thing is that it takes a certain kind of like. I don't want to say insanity, but like,
well, yeah, it
you know,
does.
a certain type of darkness in your mind to relate to these things. But you don't necessarily relate to them because you want to like do the things that are in the manga. Oftentimes it might just be that this like contextualizes your understanding of a world that is demonstrably fucked, and where things that are fucked up, like what happens in, you know, Crazy Lolliporn, do happen to real people. Maybe it happens to you and you can deal with it better through looking at it. Like, there's a lot of different reasons that people consume this media, just like there is with any art. And in the same way that, like, just because the guy who shot up fucking Columbine played Doom doesn't mean that playing Doom is gonna make you shoot up a fucking school, you know?
I don't think it's the same thing like
Why?
with the video games and the
Why?
school shooting. It's more like lowly stuff. By the way, it's like 1 a.m. and I'm in Germany, so I'm
Okay.
gonna talk a bit quiet. It's kind of like I'd have to say people who get into like trap porn and then later go and watch actual real gay porn. It's kind of like that.
I mean, that's just people who are realizing that they were gay through this like more comfortable filter that they can approach it through. Like,
Exactly.
I mean, that's good. That means that people are like finding their real selves and like understanding themselves better. I would say that's something we should promote.
Do you get how this ties into the whole lowly thing?
I mean, I don't
exactly
think
the
that
same way.
you're boiling it down. Not everybody who watches something with traps is going to then turn gay. Like,
No, definitely not everyone. But
I mean,
still, the fact that there's a small number.
the fact that there's a small
problem.
number of irresponsible people would damn literally anything. Like there's a guy who tried to kill the president because he thought that Taxi Driver was a movie trying to tell him to kill the president. The movie has nothing to do with that. Like, there are demented people out there who are going to have something trigger them to act the way that they do, you know, to have these criminal mindsets. But, like, it's not because of the artist or whatever their intent is, and it's not the fault of anybody else consuming the art, you know? Like, it's up to the people who surround an insane person to deal with that person. It's up to their parents to maybe raise them better. It's up to the community to recognize when there are people who have fucking problems so that they, you know, the fact that anybody ever shoots up a school is just a failing on a community to not recognize the fucking obvious. Like, you know, fucking when I was in school, people were always like, oh, that kid's gonna shoot up a school. It's like, if you know that, then, well, for the record, that's why they stayed away from me. So I guess they actually did know better, you know? Anyway.
It's kind of, I don't think it's the same as the whole school shooting thing. You keep bringing that up. I think playing a video game and doing a school shooting is a big jump, but looking at something online and then looking at something online again, just a normal picture or
it's
something.
a huge difference when you know that it's morally wrong to look at it, when you know that there is a victim in you doing it. Like, you know, if you have the moral fortitude as a human being to know the difference between fantasy and reality, and to know that, like, certain things are not okay, that there's a line you can't cross, then if you can have that responsibility, that's what the fucking concept of this country is based on, you know? I know you're in Germany, but, you know, America's all about freedom of expression, no matter what that might be, no matter what the consequences of that expression. Because, again, in the end, it's not the art's fault. It's that people didn't educate these people on the difference between fantasy and reality.
Yeah, I can agree on that, but I think it's still kind of, I guess, I don't know if morally reprehensible is the words.
Well, I don't believe in morals anyways, and I don't think we run our society based on, like, I mean, there's no objective morality. It's only what we decide as a consensus. We make the decision that we think it's icky, so we don't want it, but I think that we need to make the decision that it's art and it needs to be protected, and that there are, you know, people who have reasons to consume it that are not morally objectionable, you know?
Okay, but like the fact that it can lead towards, you know, people actually
that's a
watching the
slippery
real
slope
thing.
argument, and that's not how we run, you know, it's not how we run society. That's a mode of thinking that leads to thought policing, you know, that leads to totalitarianism. And, you know, I don't want to recite 1984 at you, but I don't want to go down that road.
Okay. I've heard it, I guess. I guess it's also kind of going to be hard to persuade you of anything, you know, to do with this, because you're a, you know, self-described lowly enthusiast.
Of course.
Enthusiast.
I mean, if
So,
I can stand as proof that, like, you can be into the stuff and not do anything illegal,
No, you
then
definitely
I'd love to be
can.
the symbol, you know?
But even if it's like 10%, it's kind of a problem, because then
What do you
more
mean by
children,
10%?
10% of the people that watch lowly porn then go to saying, which is probably not. It's
That's
probably
What
way
numbers
less.
are you
You're just making
trying?
stuff up based on
I'm
what
not-
you.
yes,
what
I
you,
said
what
that was
sounds.
an example.
It just sounds good
The
when you
fuck
say
outta
that.
here.
Like, what if it's
Any
0.01%?
What? Yes, then
This is
whatever.
0.01% of people who play video games shoot Columbine. Like, I mean, you can make up statistics all day, but, like, until someone comes to
get
me
someone new
and is
on.
like, here's, you know.
Also, we need to relight the blunt.
Okay.
All right. Well,
Anyway, catch you guys on the flip side.
yeah. See you later.
Also, Nibibble, I just
All right. That was a good one, I feel like.
That was fun.
Who do they want me to have on next? I need to take a second. I need to take a breather. That one got intense. Oh. The chat is more ruthless than I am. Like, I expected the chat to want me to be, like, forgiving.
People are saying Devu.
Devu? Is Devu in here?
Most.
Oh, shit. Well, I gotta bring in Devu. I seem to be getting, like, killed
Also,
by some kind of lightning trap right now.
Well, since I'm just in the lobby.
Or I'm just on lightning.
I'm gonna grab this.
Alright, I'm gonna find the Devu.
Do you know where the lighter is?
No.
Well,
It's probably somewhere near me.
I believe you're probably right.
Alright. Devu!
Wait.
You take as long as you need.
Wait.
I need a minute too.
Right now?
Yeah, you're on. You're here.
I've been doing some fucking Foley art, so I don't even know where my fucking microphone is. Oh, here it is. Okay, cool. Shit. Well, am I too loud?
No, you sound good.
Excellent. My beef is that when you're in arguments and people like argue these hypotheticals, don't dive into fucking hypotheticals with them because that's fucking no man's land. What I would have said is just, oh, you're saying lolly is bad because lolly leads to things that are bad? Well, it doesn't make lolly bad. You know? Like, lolly itself is not immoral if the only thing bad about it is that it leads to things that are immoral.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as you cross the line, that's when you should be judged, basically, is what you're saying. Like, of course, if you step over the line, then yeah, you're now a criminal. So, like, if you don't step over the line, then it doesn't matter. So, where's the argument? Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Right. Let me see. I think the biggest problem with your moral character, at least professionally, is that you don't have people who are smarter and better than you telling you what you're wrong about. Everyone who tries to correct you is a lot stupider than you, so it leads to this rampant ego and like just not being able to check yourself. I know you want to be. I know that's why you cling to econ so much. People who are kind and smart.
Yeah.
But you just need another Ghost Lightning. That dude has like you graduated his lectures. But no one has come to fill your shoes. Fucking, you know, like, Mike Stoklasa never fucking got you in as an intern or some shit like it should have happened, you know?
Yeah. Well, I don't disagree with any of that, so this is not an argument. I'm gonna get you out of here because it sounds like you're sucking my dick.
Yeah, so long.
Alright, who should I have in next? And he's completely right that, like, I do feel that something that was absent from me for me for a while was like people beating up on me, so I just kind of took it upon myself to just like watch a bunch of videos that were better than mine and take that as my guide, you know? Like, I just religiously watch endless Jeff's videos and berate myself for not being as automatically charismatic as he is. But I'm practicing. Who should I have?
Just pick the highest dude.
The highest dude. That would be me, motherfucker. I'm gonna get killed by this fucking wolf. Thankfully, the wolves are supposed to have this like clever AI where they circle around you and then like attack you. All right. Well, what the what has 4 exclamations now, so I think he's ready. What the what? Are you there?
Oh, hi, I'm what the what.
Are you actually what the what?
Hi, I am what the what.
All right. Well, what's going on? What the what?
Hi, nothing much. You having a good day?
I'm having a fine day.
All right, that's nice. How you doing? Your life's good?
You want to argue with me about anything?
I mean, I'm here to have a conversation. I just wanted to ask you a couple questions first.
Okay.
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me. What is your thoughts on this faggot named What the What?
Well, What the What made some videos about me, and then got.
I'll remember that.
The people he is. Well, I don't know how to. I don't know how to help you if you don't remember your own fucking life, buddy.
I mean, like, I'm sorry. Am I bothering you? I'm sorry about this. I don't want you to die coughing, dude. I have a bad cough right now. You know, I know how it feels, man.
Do you want to argue about anything?
All right. How about this? Hold on. Let me just
right.
get on my fucking.
You're getting out of here.
No, I'm not. Don't. Hey, I'm not the word what the what, by the way.
I didn't think you were for a second. but I thought you might want to argue about something, so... Alright, who have we not had? This Robert Floyd person? Guys, just so you know, the exclamation point strategy does work. I do prioritize those people if the chat doesn't tell me anybody else, so, you know. Who's here? I unmuted somebody. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here, bro.
Yeah, what do you want to argue
bro.
about?
My beef with you is that it's misinformation.
All right, what kind of misinformation?
Netflix is cannibalizing YouTube video, you know,
Right.
in your Digibro After Dark channel.
Yes.
Yeah, you said that Red Letter Media got sponsored by Netflix,
Yes.
Stranger Things, but I don't think that's true.
So, was it like a fake ad or something that they were doing and I forgot and remembered it wrong? Is that what happened? Because I thought that episode was like, they said it was sponsored by Netflix. Like, I thought that was why they did it. But I could be wrong.
You are wrong.
Can the chat verify? I know I've got Red Letter Media fans in the chat. Because I do remember being called out from this by like one person on the video. Probably you. But,
Nah.
but I mean, it's very likely to be true. So if it is true, then I apologize to Red Letter Media. Because I love those guys. And they've been making really good videos lately. I think their video, the Nerd Crew, the latest Nerd Crew episode where they all got like regular jobs and then came back to YouTube, did a great job of putting into perspective sort of how they view their own career as like, you know, like we know that we can't be the sort of independent filmmakers or serious critics that on some level we wish we were, but doing YouTube is so much better than a regular job that of course I'd rather just fucking talk about the new Star Wars movie. And I thought that was a, you know, it's a good way to sort of show that you can do that while still actually saying something, having a message or doing something unique, you know, like they're one of the few people who talk about Star Wars, but they say more than just a review of Star Wars, you know.
There you go. People are saying next in the chat.
Alright, well, later, whoever it was who barely said anything. I don't even know where I think he left himself.
Well,
I don't even think he's there anymore. Well, how do you like that? Alright, who should I put in? I'm gonna look through there's like 7 what the whats. I'm pretty sure they're all just there to waste my time. Subsonic Sparkle's here. Let's put him in. You gotta black it up a little. What's up, Subsonic? Are you there? Did you know you were getting called on? Did you already tab over to something else?
I'm here.
There you are. What's going on?
What's up, guy?
What you want to argue
I haven't
about?
heard your voice in a long time.
I feel like I have heard your voice, but I don't know why or where.
The last time I said anything to you was that great podcast that we did, which I just found out earlier never got released in fixed quality. So let me just say to everyone here, I will be uploading like a good version of that podcast that we did like a year and a half ago.
Wasn't it only on it was on SoundCloud in like the fixed version, right?
No, he never did. I just checked that.
I thought you had uploaded it to SoundCloud.
I was gonna, but you told me not to. But it's been like a year now, so you know.
I berated Jeff in person over that at Crunchyroll Expo. I told him that's why I don't work with him anymore. Is that he released a shitty version.
That podcast.
Okay, so for context for the audience, there was a podcast that we did, the one that was the response to my drama video.
Incredible
In which your audio, first of all the audio levels were fucking awful.
Yeah,
like, it sounded like
terrible.
shit. And your audio cuts out like an hour and a half before the end. And you spent all day re-rendering the video, reconstructing it.
I spent a long time. I re-edited everything. I fixed every little problem.
Yeah.
I like Maddoxed it. I cleaned everything out.
It was the good version. You uploaded it to YouTube, and then Jeff was like
90% uploaded.
Yeah, you posted like the 90% upload, and then Jeff, who had been gone all day, shows up and is like, "Oh, don't upload that. It'll like affect the whatever. It'll affect the SEO or something, or it'll affect the the searchability of the video." So he told you not to upload it and to just put it on SoundCloud. And then I guess neither of you ever did put it on SoundCloud.
When I did, right after that, I made an audio version. I sent it to him and said thanks, but it never went up. content.
Yeah.
I guess you forgot.
Well, I thought that was horse shit because the podcast only had it had probably 10,000 views at the time that you were almost done with your upload, and it went on to get almost 200K. It could have been swapped out at that time for sure.
Yeah, it could have. So if you want to put if you feel so inclined to put the fixed version on whatever channel you want, or I can just put it on.
You can just put it on your channel because frankly, I do not want to have to ever listen to that again. It's 4.5 hours long.
It was that was the best podcast I've ever been a part of. That was great. Jimmy was there, and Pedantic Romantic was there. Pedro.
That podcast was for me like the moment that I truly understood that it was all that okay, basically I created a big drama and then Jeff somehow made like $300 probably off of it. And I don't know how that happened, but I felt like I got tricked into participating in it because Jeff said something to the effect of, oh, accusing me of stealing your jokes but not having any evidence could be considered libel. And I went,
that was an interesting comment.
I guess I'll fucking do your podcast then, you fucking ass.
It was good though. We had made some good points. It was just completely unlistenable. So
yeah. Well,
anyway, so what do you think I'm here for?
I don't know. I have no idea what you're here to argue about.
Let me tell a brief story, very brief.
All right.
So this is a great story. I tell all the time.
All right.
So about 3 years ago, you put out a video about some magical girl show.
Yes.
What is it called? The one with the brown hair she has? Lyrical Nanoha, that's it.
Yes.
And I put in the comments, hey Digi, make a video about Clannad After Story.
Uh-huh.
And then you said, infamously, do it yourself.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, alright, fine. So I sat around, I bought some stuff, I pirated Sony Vegas, and I made some videos. And then I made some more, and then a few more.
Yeah.
And now, 2.5 years later, I'm finally here to finish what I started. You were wrong. You're wrong, and Clannad is a great show with a beautiful message that is unique in anime and unique in storytelling in general. And that message is that life is suffering. Life and suffering are inseparably intertwined.
Uh-huh.
Okay? To open yourself up to anything is to open yourself up to the possibility of suffering. To love anything is to open yourself up to the possibility of heartbreak. To receive anything is to open yourself up to the possibility of loss.
Yes.
And they will come. They are forces of nature.
Yeah.
Those things are still valuable.
My favorite show's about that. Neon Genesis Evangelion.
Well, that show's a bit more social. It's more about opening yourself up to relationships and being comfortable with the idea of being judged and being okay with other people. I guess. But this is a show about the the human struggle to find value in the face of all this ceaseless suffering. And to care about things even though you know those things could be taken away. And the thing the show bends over backwards to communicate to us time and time again is that value is still real. And in fact, planting your feet in the face of suffering is the meaning of life. Because in that comes growth and empathy. And every story in the show, just reiterating this exact same point, is basically the same setup every time of love and beauty and harmony being juxtaposed by chaos and tragedy, and the characters trying to reconcile this over the course of their arc and realize that that is life, and that weathering the suffering is the thing that makes you strong, and in that suffering is burden. A burden to protect the things.
Are you just like reading your script?
No, I've written no script. I've just had this video in my head for 2.5 years. So I'm getting it off my chest. So that burden is a burden to protect the things that you consider valuable, and in that comes responsibility, and that is in fact the meaning of life.
So what part of that comes through in the part where Tomoyo's beating up a guy for this 8th time episode after episode? You know the guy, the part where she punches him 100,000 times. Not Kotori, the other girl.
The dumb comedy part. So that's a little flip. That's a little fill. That's a little cream fill.
What I want to ask you is do you think that the whole show conveys that theme or just After Story?
I think the whole show consistently. I think every arc is saying the same thing every single time. It's basically the same story over and over again. It's just telling it in different ways. Of just having something beautiful but needing to risk it in the face of tragedy and realizing that it's always worth it every time. And we follow this broken character who's realized that the best way to confront tragedy and uncertainty and chaos is just to be despondent and not care about things until he finds somebody that cares so much about things, in spite of her frail constitution, that he's inspired by her to stop running from things, because all he can do is run constantly from all of his mistakes and his family and his friends and his wife and his kid over and over again. Even his marriage was more or less just running away from the responsibilities that have been bestowed upon him. But
I can't figure out what the fuck I have to do
you
in
know,
this goddamn game.
kind of accepting the suffering is what makes you an adult. And knowing that there's always suffering on the other end is what gives you that drive to be better and to take some responsibility for the things that you've deemed valuable. And that's what I love about the show. I don't think there's another show that's told that story in quite that way. And it tells the same story over and over again till the very end. And I like that. It's cool.
Okay.
I don't think it's the best show ever. It's probably not even in my top 5 anymore. I don't think it's flawless. But I think that story is really, really interesting.
You know, I accept your reasons for liking Clannad. I would say that the first half of the show is so fucking boring that, like, even if I was thinking about those themes the entire time while watching it, I would just be like, man, I sure don't like anything about these characters or this world or setting or plot. But
yeah, that's fine. But if a person like me does really click with the themes, and it's all backed up by this gorgeous, perfect directing and presentation and sound design, it can be a great time. And I do look forward to rewatching the show whenever I do, just because it just has a lot of stuff that I respond to.
Well, you know, I'm happy to play host to such an impassioned speech about your love for this show. Though again, why couldn't you have just made that a video? Why did you have to rant that to me in this? Why was
I'm busy.
How are we supposed to argue about that?
Switch E3's coming up. You know.
All right, get that.
I'm a busy
fuck outta
guy.
here, you fucking- All right, how do I even kick you? There's such a huge list of names. You have like 18 exclamation points after your name. All right, Scrumbo has a lot of exclamation points, so let's bring that guy in. Scrumbo,
Yeah.
what's going on?
Hello there. Okay, I really only have one big thing I wanted to argue about. You made a whole video is about how Life of Pablo is a terrible album. That's just incorrect. Life of Pablo is a good album. I'm a Kanye stan. It's a great album. I also wanted to know if you've listened to the most recent one.
I have.
Have you actually?
I like Ye. I overall enjoyed the new album. So
Well, that's interesting.
I'm more positive about it. I'll tell you, over the years of the Life of Pablo being out, while I still do not like it at all, I will say that Ultralight Beams and Famous are both like 2 of my favorite songs at this point. So like, I can shit on that album just as hard as I did before, but I do think that like those 2 songs are almost worth the album's existence. But what is your argument for why it's so good?
Argument was going to be that there are this group of songs, it's like about half of them, that I feel like are so good that they justify the experimentation occasionally not working on the other half. However, it sounds like that is part of what you agree. And I was also going to mention the fact the album kind of got updated and got cleaned. You know,
Yeah, I mean, I listened to the cleaned up versions, and I still the songs that I didn't like, I still didn't like. The songs I did like, I liked more. You know, so that was a positive. But like, there's certain songs, like I think the whole I missed the Kanye, that one, I don't remember the name, Freestyle number 4, I think. Like that one has become good because it has become a meme, you know, and I feel like its existence. How do we have like somehow I'm in a party with like 3 level 83 people, one of whom is named Hey Digi, and I don't even know how I joined this.
Okay.
Like,
when were you gonna play with me? Should I just play by myself?
I thought we were playing together this whole time. I didn't even know we weren't.
What?
I've had people with me the whole time, and I just thought it was you. Like, I've just got like level 83 people following me around doing quests with me, and like I only just in the place that I was just at like noticed that it said Hey Digi, and I was like not sure where you were, But then I was like, all right, I'll go into the field and she'll probably find me. And there were so many people around me that I thought one of them must be you, but no, it's just like 3 randos who are all like level 83. So they're like, we're just one hit killing everything. All right.
I've played this game for
He says
years.
the 2 of them are NPC, so it's just me and.
From Digi. Oh no.
Oh boy. All right, I need to get.
No, it's okay. I'll just do my own thing. I have stuff to do. So.
Well, I want to play with you. I mean, that's kind of the
Playing
point.
with somebody who's literally called Hey Digi. So.
Well, it just says that like under their name, like that's their like title. I just somehow didn't like put that together. All right, I need to put some. Scrumbo never said anything, did he?
Well, I said a bunch of things.
Oh.
I just stopped talking because you were talking about the game, and I don't know anything about fantasy.
Yeah, sorry, I
online,
totally
so
forgot that you had been there. What were we arguing about? I got really distracted.
Pablo, yeah, we were talking about Life of Pablo.
Yes, Life of Pablo.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna. Well, I would say I'd add on that list, right? Like I'd say, you said Madlib, not a producer you particularly enjoy, and I would definitely say that like maybe it's a difference in opinion of like what you like in a producer. Like to me, I really enjoy producers that can really change a sample around. Like that's one thing I really enjoy.
For me, like I tend to like production that is just like very thick and heavy and has a lot going on. Like the reason I end up liking Kanye less when he's minimal is not necessarily even that I think he's worse at being minimal, but just I'm not as into minimal music. I want to hear like my favorite Kanye West song is All of the Lights, just because those fucking epic chords, are and like the 5 tracks of Rihanna's voice like just epically soaring over everything, that's what I want from Kanye. And when I get something that's like the one song, the Feedback song, like it's almost like a harsh noise-ish song, but like I actually listen to harsh noise, so like if you're not gonna go all the way, it's not gonna impress me. I'm just gonna be like, well, that was like a weak attempt at a noise song, as opposed to like a great Kanye West banger that he can uniquely do,
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Sorry, I thought I had disagreed with you a lot more, but actually having this conversation, I realized that I mostly agree with all of that. Like, I enjoy Maximal, early Kanye a lot more. I just think that Life of Pablo is also quite excellent. But I'm not like Fantana, where it's like, I think Life of Pablo is better than My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy or anything. So I think I'll pop out, because I think for the most part,
alrighty,
kind of agree on this one.
I'm gonna move on to whoever is next. Oh, he just fucking straight left the call, and Alright, let's see. Wada is still exclamation pointed. I think he might have wanted to argue about something, because I only brought him in to, like, say some stuff. Wada, what's going on?
Hey, Digi.
What do you want to argue about?
I know you thought it been weird that one of your biggest fans has been one of the big guys in the Swedish sobriety movement for a while, haven't you?
It's definitely interesting, and I feel bad. There was a period where I felt bad every time I smoked in a video, because I was just imagining you, like, having to fucking close your laptop in shame.
Dude, no, I think it's cool. It's funny. But, like, I've argued these things with people a lot in my life. I've never argued it with someone who's currently actively consuming weed.
Okay.
This will be interesting. No, I don't actually want to talk about weed. I want to talk about alcohol, because I think that's way more interesting.
All right.
So my whole thesis is that I think that I can kind of get you over to the sobrietarian idea of what we should do with alcohol, because it's not actually about making you stop drinking, okay?
Okay.
The ideas here are that I want to limit the normalization of alcohol in society. Basically, what ticks me off is that when I'm at an event or something, and I'm the guy not consuming poison, I'm the weird one out. I'm the guy that no one can relate to. I'm the guy who chooses to break the norm, so to say. So the whole point is to change the norm without actually impacting people's freedoms, per se.
You know what? I think this might be worse for you because you live in Sweden, and it's like I'm sure all those Nordic countries drink like fucking fish, but alcohol is water.
No. You're completely wrong there.
No?
First of all, Sweden has the lowest alcohol consumption in Europe. If you look at weird countries. So, like, of course, it's like per capita as well, But it's because we have this thing called the Systembolag, which is a terrible pronunciation because I'm doing it in English for no reason. It's Systembolaget, whatever. It's basically that the government owns the right to sell alcohol above 4.5% of alcohol content. And the government does this in special stores called the Systembolag. And generally, the idea is that these stores are actually better for alcohol consumers than the free market is. Because no matter where you live, if I like have a little municipality in the middle of fucking nowhere by the Nordic Circle, and I need one of these stores out there, the government is obligated to put a big alcohol store right in my municipality that everyone can get to really easily, and everything that's in their assortment has to be available there, or to be able to be ordered there with at most 2 weeks wait. So you can get any booze you want from the world.
That's
and
this is interesting to hear you saying this, because this is already what it's like in the place where I'm from. Like in Virginia, you can only buy, well, it's not, beer is unregulated, but you could buy alcohol and spirits only from government-owned, like, open stores. And
that's interesting. I didn't know America was like that at all.
It's true like that. It really depends on what state you're in. For instance, when we were in New York, they could sell beer at grocery stores, but not wine and not liquor. Those had to be at liquor stores, but those are just people with licenses. In Virginia, liquor stores are government run. In Michigan, where Jesse lives, and I went to visit him, they have fucking hard liquor in like the grocery store. So
you're
totally
cutting
different.
out. You're cutting out because the speech recognition is set too high. So that's been happening in the whole stream. So whenever you talk, if you get too low in your voice, your whole recording cuts out. So you might need to like increase your voice recognition level.
Let me do that real quick.
You were talking about Jesse's state, Flint, Michigan, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna change the sensitivity real quick.
Yeah.
Alright, I've raised the sensitivity to fucking maximum, so there should be no more issues. Yeah, I was saying that in Jesse's state,
Are you done?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
DG.
Can nobody hear me now? Did I kill myself?
Yeah, now you put it the wrong way, dude, because now you're silent.
God damn it.
You want the So you
hello,
want the green...
hello. Can
yes,
you hear me?
Now you're here.
Okay,
you want
I
the
went
green
the
part to
wrong
be small
direction.
and the yellow part to be big.
Yeah, I did the opposite.
Yeah. So you were talking about Flint, Michigan. What's it like
yes,
there?
in Michigan, you can just buy hard alcohol in the grocery store. It's everywhere.
Yeah.
But here in...
That's like in Denmark or Germany or whatever.
Yeah, here in Massachusetts, everything's regulated. So like it is just people with licenses, but even beer you cannot get at the grocery store. It's all at like liquor stores. So yeah, it's very different depending on the state. And it's funny to hear you saying that about the normalization, because amidst my friends, who granted are, you know, outsider net people, I was the only guy who was like a heavy drinker. Like I was kind of the guy who was the odd man out because I did drink as opposed to not drinking. So I think the tide is going in that direction. I mean, there's a lot of places in America, for instance, where smoking, you are looked on like a monster. Like in LA, you are not allowed to smoke like anywhere. It was a huge problem for me in econ, like getting you know, asked off the street, and every time you do pull out a cigarette, a homeless person comes up and asks you if they can have one immediately. So
dude,
you're gonna go through your pack quicker.
Cigarettes, even though I never touched one. Like
yeah,
that's just what it is like.
Well,
no,
like I mean, if they see you
the
smoking one,
normalization is a
though,
good
you know.
thing. Yeah, I want to argue that normalization of sobriety is a good thing, and that's what the whole fight is for. And I have basically three like action points that I want to sell you on.
All right.
And I think that 2 of them are gonna be simpler, and one's gonna be hard. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Because the last one is gonna be taxation. So get ready for that.
Oh boy.
So marketing is the first one. I know you love talking about marketing, so let's talk about marketing. Alcohol marketing is completely unnecessary and completely and like a bad force for the world. Like,
I think I can agree with that. I mean, well, I think that it's unfortunate that we need companies like that to market, because there are certain avenues where like there's no way to make for rappers, for instance. Like rappers tend to rap about different like alcohol brands that pay out a lot to rappers to form an identity for them. Now on the one hand, it's like they don't know another way to, you know, make any money, so this is what they're going to cooperate with. On the other hand, they, you know, maybe should think about it more and like try to find an alternative, you know. So on the one hand, I understand why alcohol companies would want to advertise and why it would be good for a lot of people that they do. Like, I mean, obviously, if an alcohol company wanted to advertise with me, it would benefit me greatly, and I'd be totally into it. But
Sure, but like, what I want to sell you on is the idea that when alcohol companies market, they're not marketing to people who already drink, because those people already have the brands they like. It's not like an alcohol commercial can sell you on a certain boost. Like you say, ours tastes better. And then it's just like a fight to have the most marketing to be the most recognizable brand, because that makes people pick you off the shelf, right? So, like for example, in Sweden, alcohol commercials are actually legal, but what they do is that all the alcohol companies have like a non-alcoholic version of their beer, and in that tiny text in the bottom, they say this is a commercial for our non-alcoholic alternative, and then they just market the brand. So what actually happens is that the marketing is there to sell in young people who don't drink yet on the normalcy of drinking. They show things like big parties where everyone's drinking and it's just the normal thing to do. They show people just hanging out, drinking beer, like there's no other alternative. This is what society's like. That's the power of alcohol marketing. Alcohol marketing exists to like further the idea.
Okay,
that
here's what I would.
Consumption is the normal thing.
Here's my response to that. Is that if we go the route of like, let's, have the government regulate like what kind of marketing is allowed, I would raise the argument that like marketing soda is even worse than marketing alcohol.
Oh, absolutely. Like, I can say that when it comes to the sugar debate and the alcohol debate, I don't even like contest that alcohol is bad for you because of health reasons.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care about health reasons. If you want to eat yourself fat and die, that's fine by me. If you want to smoke until you croak, that's fine by me. Like, I'm in favor of legal suicide.
Here's what I think is the problem, and this is like, I'm just gonna run deep through what I think is the problem with all of advertising and society, because I think
I want to sell you on the idea of why I actually don't like alcohol first.
Okay,
like why
you can go ahead.
Because I said I don't like it for health reasons is not the reason, so of course I have a different reason.
Okay.
And a different reason is, one, it's a thing that impacts like your ability to take part in society in a healthy way. Secondly,
it can impact that for the better as well, though.
It impacts people other than yourself when you're a consumer of alcohol. It impacts people negatively around you.
Well, what if there's no one around you?
In a lot of situations, way more than, for example, sugar does. Thirdly, it's a very big.
I think sugar affects everyone around you by making them fat and unattractive, and therefore you live in a fat world, and you don't.
How is that comparable to a kid growing up with an alcoholic dad?
Okay, like, well, growing up. Okay, here's the thing. That's the issue, though, right? Like, it's not the alcohol; it's the alcoholic dad, and like that's the problem that needs to be fixed.
You have the risk. No, okay. In that situation, you have the risk things, because I don't know what the English word for this is. In Swedish, we call it riskbruk rather than missbruk. So instead of mismanagement, we call it risk management. You catch my drift. So like, you're not alcoholic, but your consumption is above the level where you're constantly at risk of becoming one. Now, at least in Sweden, this classifies 20% of drinkers, people who consume alcohol. And even in risk situations, you have a substantial like downward shift in grades of kids who grow up in these families because they have too much drama going on at home. So like, it's such a substantial part, and I can send you reports on all of this if you want the statistics verified later.
All right. Here's what I want to get into. Because oh shit, I accidentally pulled my fucking headphone out. Give me 1 second.
Good job.
Before I fucking.
I can still hear you.
So, when it comes to advertising, like, I have a problem with all of it, because I don't remember what video I talked about this in, but I raised this idea that I think the concept of a normie is basically something that's created in advertising. Like, advertising wants to create the idea of what the world is, so that we will buy the products of that world.
Yes, exactly.
Unfortunately, on the one hand, I really hate advertising. I feel like a lot of it is evil, and it teaches people to, like, it does lead people down, negative roads. Now, the only reason advertising has that power is that so many people are uneducated and don't recognize it. Like, if everybody knew what we know, like the conversation we're having right now, this wouldn't be an issue because everyone would be prepared to deal with that. But we can't.
I mean, on some level, sure, but it's also the subconscious level of this. Like, if I'm out there picking ketchup, and I see all the ketchup brands, like I know what advertising is, but I'm still gonna pick up the Heinz ketchup because it's recognizable. So I trust it. Personally,
it's hard for me to relate to that sentiment because of the fact that when I go out to the the grocery store, I go and I will look at the Heinz and I'll say, well, I've had that one, so let me try the next one. And
yeah, like my mom.
I try to, because I want to know what the best one is, and I think that's the correct way to live your life. Because if you just stick to the one you know forever, it might be that the one sitting right next to it was actually your favorite,
Yeah.
And like,
I will also post that you and I don't consume advertisements as much as many other people do.
This is
because
also
we're both
true.
internet savvy people who have ad blocker and we don't watch TV.
I just ranted about this in the Gecko Estate, but I feel like I'm in a fucking like a dystopian future when I see ads, like especially radio ads, because there was a period of almost 6 months living in Rochester where for some reason
you talked about this.
Yeah, where I was listening to the radio. Yeah, and just hearing like the ads, it's so skeevy and unnerving. But then you think about like who doesn't see through this, and you're like, well, I guess most of the world just hasn't had space to think about this, or like they've never been confronted to think about it. But like,
it's like
to me, that's
ads,
the real problem.
Passivity. Like most people consume ads that you consume Fantano. It's like they don't think about it too much, but what it says, like, it stays underneath the hood somewhere.
Yeah, and so I feel like though that the solution to because the problem is not like that ads are evil. The problem is that ads work. And so, like, I think that the root thing that we need to address, and obviously it's a much harder battle to fight, but, like, I just think continually pushing that battle back to find the short-term solution of, like, well, let's just, like, outlaw this type of commercial, and, like, because it's just going to end up with a pushback. They're going to find a way around it. They're going to find a way that they can advertise to people, because the fact of the matter is that we need these evil companies and their ads to make the economy possible, because people don't spend their money wisely. People don't know how to spend their money. You have to entice people to go out and spend. You have to make people want to do things, and like people don't always want to do what's best for society or best for their health, and a lot of that is just because so many people are broken, and like we just can't fix anybody. We just have to meet their needs. We just have to be like, if we want to keep the society running, we just do whatever people want us to do. So I agree that making alcohol not normalized is a good tactic. I think that it's a good way to make it eventually, fall out of cultural use, but I don't think the problem is the ads. I think we need to just run a counter ad program, or run, I think the reason that so many
so this is the problem. So a counter ad program. Okay, so I spent some time in Brussels lobbying for the sobriety movements of Europe against the alcohol companies. Now, the alcohol companies spend an equivalent of a small country's budget every year on lobbying in the EU Parliament. How can sobriety movements, mostly run by young people with a dream, ever compete with that?
I think that what they need to do is think about the approach differently, because all right, those cigarette companies, they're spending billions and billions to do what? Mm-hmm. To put ads on television, on porn videos, like where can they even put cigarette ads? You can't put them on YouTube, you can't put them. I don't know why I said cigarettes, but like
cigarette companies need to just sponsor the hateful content.
Exactly. That's exactly what should happen, because those are the people who have made the decision that they are responsible enough to participate in the seedier side of society, because they have learned to deal with it, and they're mature about it. And not everyone is that way, but I think that.
But then why would it, as you said, the cigarette companies are not on YouTube. The cigarette companies are on TV, but like not so much in like most of the world. Like in America, they for sure are. In Sweden, not so much.
I mean, I would say that most of cigarette advertising is outside of America and outside of these. Like,
I'd say that
it's not really in the first world.
Advertisement is mouth to mouth. Like, it's word of mouth, cigarette advertisements most of the time.
That's also true, but like in the third world, like the cigarette advertising is not regulated the same way, and it's just like, I mean, if you've ever seen, like, John Oliver had a whole fucking thing he did.
I watched it.
Yeah, the 2-year-old Indian kid smoking.
I'm glad you brought up the
like
third world, because I want to talk about the third world, because like the whole thing that I have is that when we have these advertisements that set the standard of what is a normie, then as a society we should be regulating that in order to create as helpful a normie as possible. Like, we have the power to manipulate this to create people.
I don't want the government deciding what is a healthy normie. That's the problem. Like, my idea of what is healthy for society is not going to match the majority opinion on what's healthy for society. So, like, for me, this is a scary sounding system just because, I mean, that's basically what the civil system is in Psychopaths. You know, it's essentially, we're trying to tell people, like, hey, here's what is going to be best for you. But, like, I think that we need to make it a less authoritative approach and more just pump into... Okay, let me just pitch the advertising campaign I was going to say earlier, because that'll make sense of this. Like, you know, those companies are pitching to TV, they're pitching to, you know, like, to porn sites or whatever, like, wherever they can. But, like, kids are not watching TV. Kids are in Discord groups. If you want to teach kids that they shouldn't drink... join their Discord groups and, like, talk to them about it. Like, tell them what it's like.
In your
you know?
Discord group.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know.
The chat demands.
All right, the chat wants you gone now.
And also, Snob is in
dude,
Discord.
it was nice talking to you.
Oh, Snob is here? Oh, beautiful. All right, Wada. Thanks for your input. That was an interesting
I have so many more
discussion.
arguments, but, like, I'll take it one
This
time.
is going to be an ongoing show. It's a series, so you'll have a chance. We'll see. Where is that anime snob? Where is he? There he is. No, I fucked up and I think I unmuted somebody. No, I unmuted him. He has just muted himself. Snob, you're unmuted if you want to unmute yourself. If you're there. I don't know. Oh, let me go back over there and make sure that I did it correctly. I don't even see him anymore. I don't think that anime snob was ready to come in. Who else should I get? I'm just gonna look through this list for a second. But you should come find me in the game, by the way. Like, we should do stuff together. Because I've just been dicking around. Like, I have no idea what I'm doing.
Alright, well...
It took me... I did the same quest, like, 3 times, because I didn't... Like, it kept giving me the option to go back to the ship, so I thought I was done. And then I just kept, like, not killing the boss, I guess. And starting over. But, like, the chat doesn't really seem to care. Is there anyone in here who I, like, have been meaning to fight? Pedro said something about Evangeline, the artist formerly known as Joji Matthews, so we're going to bring... Oh, wait, it looks like they disappeared right before I clicked. Well, who do I bring in? Is anybody saying anything in the chat about who to bring in? They said it was a fake snob. Somebody suggest me a person. Stegtorn says, bring me in, boy. Alright, where are you at, Stegtorn? Let me go find you. Alright. Stegtorn, you are unmuted. Stegtorn, what's going on?
Wow, that's actually quite a shock. I don't normally use Twitch, so I was like, fuck it, bring me in. And I was like, oh shit, he's actually doing it. There's something that... I don't know how much of an argument it's going to be, but it has to do with the illusion you project of yourself versus how close that is to reality. And I know that's kind of something you enjoy talking about. So
yeah, go ahead. What do you have to say about the subject?
Well, if you allow me to pontificate for a moment here, there's the fake version of you is something that I'm incredibly enamored with, and it's sort of something that I don't want to replicate, but it's like a bit comforting. A lot of like internet presences or personalities, whether they realize it or not, act as essentially fake friends and these sorts of things that you could go to and sort of fall back on or whatever. However, stop waffling, he says. All right, my point is, I think you should try to refine the projection that you're making as much as possible to get it where it hits as many people as possible if you want to be successful. But
so are you saying that I need to just have more pop appeal in my content? Do you think that that's something that's necessary?
Not quite. I think you could fill out the niche that you occupy a little bit a little bit further.
Which niche do you mean exactly? Because I do see people share the sentiment, but it can mean different things. So
yeah, I mean, it's kind of a complicated topic, but sort of the slob image in this dark room with these dark glasses, the posters vaguely illuminated by moonlight. It's sort of like an image and a feel that. Sorry, I'm reading the chat and they're yelling at me. That I think you could fall back on, and it would be good to see more of that. But
so
you've become something else. Look how you're dressed. Look how the room is illuminated and organized. You've got another person there as well. It doesn't matter who it is, but the fact that there's a person, sort of.
Okay, well, I mean, if I were to tell the story of being an alone slob in my room, it would no longer be a true story anymore. Like,
yeah, no, that is true.
Like, I mean, all I've ever really attempted to do with my work, it's never been about like cultivating an identity of like being this specific character. It's just been who I am. Like whoever I happen to be at that moment is who is in the videos. And so like sometimes that might be a really lonely person who, doesn't have anyone in their life and is like complaining about it on the internet and uses the fact that they make videos constantly as like a source of, like being able to have any communication with the outside world whatsoever. But I'm not that person now, because now I'm like engaged and living with somebody. So like, I don't really have an interest in telling the same story over and over again anyways. Like, I don't want it to be that people... Why the fuck do I still have to do the same mission? I'm sorry. I'm looking at this game. I don't know what the fuck I've done wrong. Okay, I can do a different one. I guess I'll do this one. I really don't understand the questing system in this game. Anyways, sorry about that. I just... I wouldn't want to always project the same image continually because, if you're someone who relates to those things I said, I think I covered all the bases pretty well. Like I said so much about that lifestyle. Like I don't feel that there was something left unsaid, some new thing to relate to. And personally, like when I was in that life, I was not happy with it. Like part of the message is that this is a depressing and dark place to be, and like I understand that that's what people connected with, but I want to encourage people to move past that, like I did. That's
sort of another factor that I wanted to get into next. That it's you've sort of moved forward into a different path that perhaps I don't really pay attention to the fan base. I don't use Reddit or anything like that, but I think maybe there's a group of people who are closer.
I have never played this game. I've never said that. So,
who are closer to me, and instead of going down the path of fucking pothead, fucking whatever the fuck you've become now, it's something closer to people who've tried to improve themselves and regiment themselves with morals, which is not something you really pay attention to, with physical fitness, trying to elevate themselves into something a little bit more intelligent.
I have been physically fitnessing,
Listen, okay, I think April 2017, I had something, I don't know, something in my brain broke, and we got all better now. And it's been an entire year almost, and I'd say I'm in a better place than you are, but I've sort of like left you behind a bit. And occasionally I see the work that you put out, and it's just I don't know.
Wait, what about your life is so much better than mine?
I don't know.
I feel like I've been in a really great place. I literally spend every day, the phrase, "this was the best day of my life," comes out of my mouth. And I'm not even exaggerating or making that up. That's actually true. Can you confirm that for me?
I can confirm.
Yeah. So I don't know in what universe anyone can say that they're doing better than I am.
I suppose it has more to do with I don't know. I just don't agree with what you're doing. It's like that's not a place that I'd like to be. So it's.
I mean, like, where are you at? Like, what's so cool? What? How is the grass so much greener over there? What are you pasteurizing with?
What am I pasteurized? I don't know. It's just sticking to a schedule and filling my time with a variety of things.
That doesn't sound fun. I don't want to have a schedule. Look,
well, I suppose that's
back when I was in high
differ.
school, I would write out a schedule. It's funny I say that because I actually do write schedules out every day.
Sounds like a really bad lay.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah.
You're boring, apparently. That's what she says.
Then on to the next. I've said my piece.
I mean, I just was curious about, like, you know, I am willing to believe that some people who follow my content, like, have surpassed me in their livelihood.
Well, no, it's. I suppose that's the wrong language, because what you're doing is better than what you were doing a year ago, and what I'm doing is better than what I was doing a year ago.
So are you saying that, like, you have beef with an after image of me that you saw a year ago that isn't real anymore?
I'm chasing after you in the sunset, and you look back and you give me a thumbs up, and then you fade away into smoke, you know, like that sort of thing.
All right, I'm muting you again. See you later. All right, that was an interesting conversation. This does feel like the Dick Show, by the way.
It
like
does.
I don't know if it's like some of these people have probably called into that show before. I wouldn't even be surprised. Who the hell should I let in now? Let me look at the chat. See, do Alani. Who's Alani? Let's go with Alani. I don't know how to pronounce the name. We'll ask them when we've got him in here. Alani?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Alright, motherfucker, I'm here because there's a fucking vitriol in my soul. I have a deep fucking hatred for you.
Good.
Goddamn outside.
Right.
I miss Digibros. Not the specific show, not the people on it, well, aside from you, of course. But the fact there was so much content in there, so much breadth.
Yeah.
But now there isn't. There's nothing there. There's a void in my soul that you haven't been fucking filling.
So, alright.
I know there's probably nothing you can do about it because you're an antisocial hickey neat to the waifu. But I need something here, man.
So
when you have PCP HQ, you have to promise me. You need to seal a fucking blood pact with me that you're going to put out some motherfucking content.
Do you not like the Bloodborne videos?
There's not enough of them. There just isn't.
All right, well, we're gonna get back to it. May has been not able to edit it because we've been traveling. We recorded like 30 of them. There are plenty to come. We were supposed to have them like edited and scheduled before we moved, and they were supposed to be a stopgap in the content between while we moved. Didn't happen, but they should eventually.
It's my fault. I didn't realize how long they would take to render on my laptop, and I thought like.
Because we made it a daily show, thinking it doesn't take that long to
No, it doesn't
edit.
take long to edit, but
Takes like
if it
6
takes,
hours to
like,
render.
5 or 6 hours to render. It isn't, you know.
Either way, that's my point gotten across. Thank you for listening.
All right. Well, I agree with that guy's complaint that there was not enough Digibros on the internet. Who should I bring in next? All right, Evangeline's back and now has exclamation points, so let's go with them. Are you there, Evangeline?
Hey, fuck you, Digi.
All right.
So I have a smoking gun.
All right.
It's gonna kill you.
Excellent.
It's gonna let me steal all of your fans,
Good.
all of your enemies, and your fucking wife.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
And this has to do with a video that you put out. I think it was it must have been in 2016. Yeah, it was in 2016. Lunchables aren't that fucking good.
Yes. Are you saying that your argument is Lunchables are not
suck.
that? Okay, well, you're wrong. Well, all right. What Lunchables have you tried? Have you had all of them?
The ham and biscuit ones. Those are like
Those
what
are-
they fucking
those are not
have
the
here
best.
in Australia.
The only Lunchables
Yeah.
that I really care about are the pepperoni pizza Lunchables. Because the pepperoni pizza Lunchables is you get 3 individual little pizzas and you get to make them yourself. You get a little sauce packet and all of it's just like it's a real autism thing because like everything's perfectly ordered. You've got 3 pizzas, exactly enough sauce for all 3, 9 pepperonis, and enough cheese to cover all 3. The preparation is as satisfying as eating it. And it's somehow like the sauce is like what it's like not real marinara. It's just sugar, but like it has that thick richness that I long for. And the pepperonis are spongy, and they're I don't know, man. They make me feel sick, but they taste great. We still eat them all the time. We literally get, every time we go grocery shopping, we get Lunchables. Because May is into it too.
You
I
put
fucking
the
died.
fucking Lunchables pieces on the fucking kitchen table. Like, that's a motherfucking health hazard.
Okay, well, everything about my
And
life
they got
is a
caught
health
in your
hazard, so that's...
and they got caught in your fucking scraggly beard that you had at the time, and it was the most disgusting video I've ever sat
You know,
through.
if I agree, because like every time I watch my videos, I just filmed a video today. I just died twice. Oh, came back to life again. Okay, I guess I just am fucking magic. Every like video I make, I watch it back, and I finally got the perfect lighting, and my beard looks good, and my eyes are shining, and I got fucking crust in my fucking beard for like 40 straight minutes of video. So believe me, no one feels the pain of that more than I do, because once I zero in on it, it's all I see, and I will hate the video forever because of it. I can't even watch the final stretch music video, and it's like the coolest video ever, but I got too much shit in my beard.
Also, I just need to ask you, what's your fucking favorite bar off Yay?
My favorite what?
Favorite bar.
Oh, favorite
off of
bar.
Yay.
Well, I'm just gonna... I haven't had enough time with it to say for sure, but I'm gonna say the one that is May's favorite. Or May, you can say it, because I share the same favorite. You're the one who pointed it out to me.
Wait.
My favorite bar on the album Yay.
Oh, I love your titties because they prove that I can keep track of two things at once.
Yes.
Definitively worse than
so
let me hit it raw like fuck the outcome. Yeah, none of us would be here with outcome.
Yeah, that one is.
That is a better bar.
That is they're both great. I love both bars. I really love Kanye West even when I don't think he's making the best music, just because I feel like he is fucking with people on a different kind of level. He's fucking with them in a different way, where he's not fucking with them like JPEG Mafia, where he's just like brazenly fucking with everybody. He's fucking with people like making something that seems like it should make sense and be normal, but then he hits you with like, we wouldn't exist without cum, and you're like, oh, Kanye's fucking insane. Like, this is great.
Anyway, thanks for having me on. You're both very nice people.
No problem. You're being too nice now, so you're getting kicked. Alright, 20x6 is like, has 1,000 exclamations, so.
Yo.
Hello, what's going on?
Yo, Digi, I can both praise and condemn your criticisms on place further than the universe.
Okay.
As much as you're right, it just feels bad learning that. I mean,
what's your argument exactly?
Yeah, I feel like you have way too little suspension of disbelief compared to a lot of other critics.
I mean, I think that it's just a matter. I'm willing to be a lot more forgiving of a show if it like immediately has my attention, you know? Like, there's a lot of people who rag on Ponyo because like they think it's just like a bunch of unrealistic dumb shit, but like because I just am so immediately invested in like the aesthetic of the movie, I didn't care. Like, from that point, like, that movie had me at hello, and it didn't matter what happened. But, like, with A Place Further Than the Universe, the aesthetic didn't quite do it for me, and, like, the writing didn't quite do it, and that's why I kind of wanted to present the video in a way where I start off being like, hey, I thought this was a good first episode, let's give it a watch. Juki Hanada, he's alright, I guess, but, you know, then I watch it and I get disappointed in this specific way, but, like, it's not really even safe to say that, like, oh, I dropped the show because, like, it has this problem. It's just like, this is the stick that did it. This is like the straw that broke the camel's back, you know, the oh, I checked out mentally when this thing happened.
Yeah, maybe it's your style, but I feel like at times you talk as if, like, you have quite the authority of your opinion on something, like,
you know,
I found it in your videos as if it's completely shit.
I honestly have a difficult time finding a way to not sound that way, because I really don't feel that way. Like, I used to say, if you watch, like, for instance, my old Sword Art Online rant, the hour-long one, like, there's a part at the beginning where I go on where I'm like, hey, if you like this show, that's fine. Anyone can like whatever they like. I actually think it's cool that, like, so many people have found something to like for seeing the show, but now I'm going to tell you, like, I really hated it, and I'm not going to, like, be even-handed and fair about it. Like, I hated the show. That's my perspective. That's what we're going with for this, you know? But, like...
I like that about you.
Well, I'm glad.
It's
just it's difficult to like make people understand that just because I am, you know, like, I believe in my opinions doesn't mean that I think you have to feel the same way. And, like, obviously it's a show a lot of people like, so I don't exactly think that I'm gonna have the opinion people agree with. I just want people to understand, like, when I drop a show, I legitimately get people on Twitter, like, messaging me going, why'd you drop this show? I liked it. And so I just feel like I have to explain myself, because, like, bridging the gap in understanding between people is what I see as sort of the point of, like, art, you know?
I feel like when you talk about its flaws, you feel like they are the deal breaker completely, and it just overshadows any praise that you seem to have.
I mean, I think the reason that it feels that way with analysis videos is that sometimes I might make a big crushing point, but I can make that point in a sentence. Whereas sometimes there's a more nuanced point that it takes a whole paragraph to explain it, and, like, it just makes it sound like I cared more about that because I said more about it. But, like, if I just say that, like, the color design in the show is bad, and I show you a picture of it, and maybe I just, like, you know, give a single example, it's pretty easy to understand that. If I just show it, people are gonna get it. But, like, if I have to break down why this very specific piece of dialogue bothered me, like, and what it, you know, I have to go through, like, the entire fucking history of the medium basically to get to this point. So, like, you know, with my videos, I don't like to have any extra fat. I don't want there to be, like, all 5 sections of the video are equal length because that's what a video is. I want to just talk about the interesting parts, you know, and, like, I think if you just, you know, are along for the ride long enough, eventually it becomes apparent that I don't think I know everything, because I pay deference to a lot of people who know a lot more than me, you know, and a lot of my work is speculative and is based on, like, me, even my, like, research projects, a lot of it is me looking at just, like, a list of people who worked on a show and then just seeing what elements of the show are consistent between them and coming to conclusions about who did what, not necessarily that I can prove it, you know.
Yeah, I'm also disappointed that you didn't really give that show enough of a chance, because it just keeps picking up episode after episode.
Which show is that again?
A Place Further Than the Universe.
Right. I've heard that from a few commenters, but, like, for me, if I already am, like, not interested for 3 whole episodes, at that point, the show can't be good. Like, it can't be great. It can't be, like, a legend, because even if every episode after that knocked it out of the park, it's, like, already 30% of the show is not interesting to me, you know? So, like, I've never seen, and this is why I made the whole, like, how to recognize a great and terrible anime videos, is that, like, I've never seen a great show where the first episode is bad. Like, some of them might be confusing, or, like, you know, maybe the first time through you don't, like, get it all the way because it might be subtle, but, like, you know, any good show, if you watch back the first episode, it's probably going to be good, unless it was, like, like, for some reason, really different from the rest of the series, you know?
People have brought up arguments, though, that it's not always wrong to be incredibly unsubtle and heavy-handed with dialogue sometimes.
I mean, I can agree with that. Some people like that stylistic choice. I just, you know, I have my preference. I tend to like things that have a lot going on in every image, where, like, if you were to watch, like, I just watched Grave of the Fireflies, for instance, for the next Ghibli cast that we're going to do on the Procrastinators channel, and, like, that movie is almost more symbolism than film. Like, there's so much dialogue that is obviously meant to be like, and here's the dialogue that lets you know that this was going on at this point in Japanese history. And, like, it's cool, and I like that. And I like watching a movie and having something extra to think about you know, beyond just what the characters are literally saying to me about themselves, you know. And like in K-On, you can enjoy the show as just a relaxing, fun time and never think about it. And a lot of people don't ever think about it. But like if you do think about it, it will reward you. Whereas with
I do
you know,
need to rewatch that.
yeah, it's a great K-On's one of those shows that gets better the more you watch it, just because when you go back to episode 1 and you really see how different the characters are from like how you remember them being at the end, you're like, wow, these characters came a long way, you know.
Yeah, and I think my main criticism would be that instead of just blatantly labeling a show as bad, I would rather hear you instead say, oh, I personally didn't like the way they did this.
I mean, I don't think I ever say that the show is bad. I never say that in the video. Like, I think the show probably, if I had finished it, I probably would have given it like a 6 out of 10. You know, I don't think it was something that I would have hated, but I just don't make time for a lot of stuff like that because I want to watch classics, you know? I want to watch all the 10 out of 10s I haven't seen yet, of which there are many. So,
yeah.
All right, well,
and you also,
this is not really an argument anymore, so I'm just kicking you out. All right, who wants to come in next? I've got to take, you definitely want to hear Washer in chat. All right, where's Washer? He said he had exclamation points, but I don't see him. I don't see, oh, there's Washer. All right. Washer?
Hey, Digi, can you hear me?
Yes, what's going on?
All right, first off, yes, I know my voice sucks, ha-ha's in chat. Second, Digi, you are someone who has once had great talent. You are the only good video maker in the Brony community, and that is something I do not say lightly.
You don't think Jesse was good?
Okay, Jesse was decent, but
right.
you got really popular with shocking hot takes appealing to everyone on Hot Take Sub. Well, okay, what I want to say is that you are becoming Hunter S. Thompson, and you might say that to me a big compliment, but honestly, I think that might be more of an insult.
Okay.
You got really popular with shocking hot takes appealing to everyone, or at least Hunter did, on subjects like the American Dream or the drug craze or politics. And you have it in the anime community with subjects like the SAO or the Asterisk War.
Yeah.
Shitting on anime and dropping hot takes about them, or writing amazing video essays praising amazing shows like K-On.
Uh-huh.
But in reality, you are showing way too many signs of being shallow. You want to be a regular person, have a wife, but you're obsessed with this persona of being Hunter Thompson, of being the best gonzo journalist.
Yeah.
You try to spread into every aspect, being this human content machine, but you are suffering that, just like Hunter S. Thompson. You should try and appeal to your fans, and obviously not be uber pandering like Mother's Basement, but try and put down quality videos about things your viewers care about and spreading out everywhere like Hunter S. Thompson, trying to cover everything outside of your comfort zone and falling flat on your face. This human content machine business is killing your... Okay.
Before we continue, clarify your stance on Hunter Thompson, because, like, I don't know what is considered to have been the trajectory of his career. Like, obviously his early work is more famous, but I don't know that he fell off.
Yeah, he was a really good early journalist in the 60s who got really popular in the 70s and then fell off hard in the late 70s trying to spread out everywhere.
I mean, I haven't really read even, like, most of his... I haven't read that much Hunter Thompson. I've only read Kingdom of Fear, really, his memoir, which would have been, like, late in his life. And I thoroughly enjoyed that and took a lot of influence from it, so...
Well, I think he dresses up himself too much in that book. I think that, basically, once SAO is dying, you're trying to move off somewhere else, but he can't really find that. I think there's plenty of shitty anime besides SAO in different genres that he can do, but... I think you need to step either into more of your comfort zone or try harder being the human content machine by devoting more time, because I'm not sure you're not really finding your sweet spot. I think you're becoming a hack fraud trying not to be a hack fraud.
Okay, well, I get where you're coming from with that, because in the last year, I do think that I've had out of order priorities, and a theme of the content I'm trying to create right now, having moved into this new house, is that I'm trying to get back to sort of to figure out what it is that people want from me the most, because there was a period in which it seemed like people just wanted to hear me talk about literally anything every day. But, like, there's different moods that each show I do has. There's different reasons that people would come to them, and some of the new things I did in the time since then have resonated with people. Like, for instance, the Comfy cast on Corrupting Your Kids. Like, not a huge audience, but the people who watch it really love it because they love the specific atmosphere it creates. So, like, that's the kind of stuff I want to have a lot of. And this show is one more attempt at that. The way I saw it, a lot of people, you know, I'm a controversial figure. A lot of people have arguments with me. And I think that the best way to have them where everyone communicates clearly is, you know, is a format like this. So it was all about, like, how do I find a format that maximizes on this something I do well that people will resonate with, and it seems to be successful so far. So, like, do you think this is a step in the right direction, this live stream that you're listening to or participating in?
I think it's mostly you trying to copy or at least try to replicate Dick, but I'm not saying that's really a bad thing.
The funny thing is I didn't even get this idea from Dick per se, although I will say that I've had the germination of this idea ever since when he shit on David Clegg that time, and Mumkey put that on Mumkey Jones 2. Because, like, listening to that, it was so satisfying to listen to someone who just leaves shitty comments sort of have to be revealed for, like, who they actually are by having to talk, you know? It's just sort of giving perspective to, like, why this person is this way, why they leave these comments all the time. Like, once you actually know who it is, it's interesting. So, yeah, in that sense, I would say that, like, I got the idea from Dick, doing that to Clegg specifically, but, like, I've been germinating on the idea for a long time because I had to find a specific method that works for, like, my style of conversation, and you know, which is one-on-one. With the Dick show, there's always this sense of distance where it's Dick and Sean are doing a show and then they have a guest on, you know, and, like, at the forefront of it is Dick and his stories, and, like, his guests are sort of ancillary to that. I want this to be like, we're having a conversation. It's me and you. We're on equal footing. I know I talk way more than anybody, but that can't be helped.
To be fair, actually, I think this is a step in the right direction. Content like this, I think you are really good at and could get really popular off of. But I think my time's almost done. So one thing I'll have to say is that I hope that you're a great YouTuber, and I hope to see you in Boston when I'm there in college this fall.
Hey, cool. Well, I'm going to be here for like 5 years, so I'm sure I'll see everybody who lives here eventually.
All right, thanks.
All right. Oops, I fucking was going to mute him, but he just left the call. All right. Well, that ended well. The unknown otaku is being requested, so let's see.
So there's a lot of spammage in the chat. I cannot mod and play the game at the same time.
Like, what kind of spammage?
Just people, like, you know, posting dick pixel art and shit, you know.
I don't even see it. Hold on. Oh, there we go. Well, here, I'll just ban user. Here we go. Don't post any dick pixels, please. Or else you might get blocked. I can't get the guy's fucking name off of my screen now. How do I fucking get rid of him? Oh god, I closed the whole chat window. I can't make it go away! Oh, I can move it. Alright, anyways, let's get in the unknown otaku. If they're still there. I don't even fucking... How does the whole... I don't understand how the whole exclamation points thing works. Didn't I already bring in 20x6? Or were they not there? And I know I tried to bring in Robert Floyd and they weren't there. Alright, well, this Steven person has shown up. Steven, what's going on?
I would like to debate you.
About what?
So, am I correct in assuming you think traps are gay?
Well, what's your argument for the opposite?
I say that, traps are not gay because it's a matter of simple math.
Okay.
If you take a man or a woman by themselves, that's 100% gay. Because either there's no dick or there's no pussy.
Uh-huh.
And then you take a man and a woman, it's 50% gay. Because there's a woman, but then there's also a man.
I see what you're saying.
And the dick is 25% gay, the male body is also 25% gay.
Okay.
But if you take a trap fucking a woman, that's only 25% gay because there's a dick, but it's a female body.
Okay. What about... like, is there no way to make it? I guess if it's lesbians, it's 0% gay. So what is the?
If it's lesbians, it's
so
100%
are you just?
gay.
You're not even arguing that traps aren't gay, just that they are less gay than heterosexuals, like, or that not even specifically that traps themselves are not gay, but that sex with
People are
traps.
saying next.
I don't worry. I just wanted to.
I know.
You know.
I know.
All right, who's next? All right, Laugher Style. All right, we'll do Laugher Style. Someone requested it. And Laugher is a longtime patron. Laugher, you there?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes. What do you want to fight me about?
All right. So my first argument, it's not really an argument, just clarification.
Okay.
You said that in your second last Digibro After Dark vlog, the one where you're house hunting around Boston.
Yes.
You said that jump cuts are good. Well, not good, but like it helps you to make your argument better, like your speech, so you don't just go on and on. But then in this last episode of the Gecko Estate, in that first vlog,
yes,
you just went on and on and on, and just wondering why you did that.
All right. Well, the thing about the jump cuts is I'm trying to find a happy medium with them, because there are a lot of people who just like really aesthetically don't resonate with them. Like people who feel like the more unbroken clips there are, the more it feels like we're just in a room conversing, you know? And like, so I only really want to use jump cuts if I have to. And sometimes I do, because I fuck up what I say, or like I just have to think for a minute and or lose track of my thought. And sometimes a method I've been trying to develop is, if I can, as opposed to using jump cuts, if I lose my train of thought, to just change the camera angle. And I started doing that in the commercial segment of the vlog. So like, that's why the midsection is so much more exciting than the initial clip, is that like, I just did that whole section again, and also I didn't think it would be 30 minutes long when I recorded it, and then once I had it, I was like, well, I don't know if I want to cut this down. Honestly, I think it was too long. I have taken the advice of people who said so, and will be making the next one a lot shorter and have more jump cuts. So I guess this complaint is being addressed.
Alright, I have one more complaint. It's about ad breaks.
Yes.
Within the Gecko Estate, I think that was alright because it was just more content.
Mm-hmm.
But within your Finish or Fail, I think that the ad breaks were either obnoxious, like, well, they're eye catchers.
Yeah.
But like, I think that between the second and third section,
yeah,
it was just like really unnecessary and like.
All right. Well, the point of the ad breaks was to be obnoxious, because I wanted people to know about how they marketed. Like, so what eventually people will realize is that the gimmick of how they marketed is that I talk about a show's marketing, and then I market the video the same way. That's basically what the gimmick of the series is going to be. So if a show like, say, Pop Team Epic, which will be episode 2 of how they marketed, is heavily marketed with memes. So you're going to have a whole lot of memes. They did a lot of Twitter stuff. You're going to get Twitter stuff. Like, so that's sort of the idea. And, you know, there's a lot of avenues that anime has been marketed through that people might not know about or realize, and will get to experience the surprise of having that happen to them. But the most important thing that I'm going to hammer throughout the series is that the best marketing tactic is constant repetition and always reminding people about your show. Because the biggest reason that I've never been able to gain, like, the reason that, like, the follower counts of my channels is so divergent is that I don't really promote my small channels. Like, I'll usually have a video on the main channel being like, hey, I've got a new channel, you know, or like I'll mention it here and there, or I'll put some links at the end of videos. But like, when you verbally mention something, the difference it makes is astounding. Like, every time back in the Brony days that I would actually verbally mention my Twitter, I had it on screen every video at the end, but if I verbally mentioned it, I would gain hundreds of followers, like, instantly, whereas otherwise never gained like any noticeable increase in followers from a new video coming out. I just fucking knocked the goddamn earpiece out of my ear. But like, you know, so like, with how they marketed, I just wanted people to be hype about it, as like, or to just know it was coming as much as possible, because like, I can't guarantee YouTube's gonna promote that video to my whole audience. And it's a video about Be the Beginning, which is not ultimately a show that ended up being as popular as I kind of hoped it would when I decided to make the first episode about Be the Beginning. Also wasn't as good as I hoped it would be when I decided to make the first episode about Be the Beginning. But that's where we are. So, like, I wanted people to unmistakably walk away from this video with the message in their mind that how they marketed is a series with a narrative. And, like, if that had to be obnoxious to get that point across, then that was effective, you know? I think everyone came away knowing that. Video didn't get as many views as I thought it would, though, so that's unfortunate. Do you have anything more to argue about?
No, I think that's it.
All right.
Thank you.
Glad to clarify. Now
People are
let's...
saying, Zarvin or something.
Zarvin?
With an X.
Okay, we'll look for this Zarvin. Or Zavin, I think is what it is. Zavin, you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you just fine. What do you want to argue about?
I have a question about your Manga Mondays video for Astro Lost in Space.
Okay.
But first, I just want to know if you're a Gintama fan, right?
Yes.
Okay, then this makes my question valid. So in that Astro Lost in Space video, you talked about how, like, the author of it is also the same author of Sket Dance, and that Sket Dance's comedy wasn't for you. And that, like, you said it was like you weren't into characters pointing out that someone is doing something ridiculous. And I just thought that was kind of weird because Shinpachi from Gintama.
For what it's worth, Shinpachi's not my favorite character in Gintama, but with Sket Dance, and for what it's worth, I only watched, you know, probably 1 or 2 episodes of it when it was airing, the anime version. But, like, with Gintama, it's because there is so much meta, and, like, the structure of the show breaks down so much is, like, a big part of what I like about it. Like, I enjoy media that, like, plays with the format of TV and, like, sees what they can do with it. And, like, with Gintama, when there's episodes where, like, they just play 4 OPs in a row or something, and then, like, have a half an episode about a random detective, and, like, that kind of stuff I haven't seen from Sket Dance. And in fairness, even Gintama's early episodes I don't think really relay the strength of it as much as the later ones. And, like, I was lucky enough to have a friend who showed me, like, the first episode I ever saw of the show was the bathroom one where they all have to use sandpaper to fucking wipe their asses, and I thought it was the funniest thing I'd ever fucking seen. So, like, you know, I already knew that Gintama had, like, great, funny, crazy, insane shit. And I also just think the concept of Gintama is perfect because it's the fact that all aliens in the universe have invaded means that literally anything can happen in the show. And, like, with Sket Dance, you don't have that feeling of, like, you know, in this universe it would make sense for anything to happen. So I just think that Gintama, the uniqueness of its concept and, you know, the crazy meta of its execution is why it's so good.
Right, but, like, most of Gintama's comedy seems to go off of Shinpachi's yelling at them for being stupid.
I would not say that most of it is like that. I mean, there's a lot of that yelling. I would say it's often even relegated more to the background in Gintama. Like, maybe Shinpachi's face will be on the front and side of the screen while something else is visually happening in the background while he's reacting. You know, like, there's just a little bit more, I don't know, creativity in the directing of the show, I think, that makes it work. And I also think that Gintama is a show that works better as an anime as a manga, and that, like, not all of what makes it good is just what was brought to it by the source material, like what is in the base level comedy of it, you know?
Yeah.
Anyway, is that all you wanted to argue about?
Also, what do you think of the recent arc in the anime, Silver Soul?
I am so fucking far behind on Gintama, I have no idea what's going on in the show. I am years behind on it, so unfortunately I have no idea.
Alright, that's it for me.
Alright, peace out then. That was... Alright, let me fucking scroll up this whole goddamn list of names. There we go. Alright. Any more demands? Get Tarbuck, he has notes in. He has notes. Alright, Tarbuck has notes. Let's get Tarbuck in here. Tarbuck Transon, I assume. Tarbuck, you there?
Hey.
Oh my god, I almost fucking died while I was letting you in. What's going on? What you want to argue about?
Okay. I'm gonna try and keep the first thing that I have short to get ahead to my real argument. My first thing that I've got for you is that you didn't read my fucking letter.
Which letter is yours?
Okay, so
does it include a CD?
Do you remember like forever and ever ago, when you were still back up in New York, that there was a letter by somebody who was putting together like an analysis HQ type place?
Yes, I think I remember that.
Okay, and yeah, it was my idea to send you the antihistamine for anti-mosquito bite thing, and I wrote a handwritten letter on the back of the printed letter, and you didn't read it.
I see. I probably just didn't even notice it.
That's exactly what I thought, given that you put it down really, really quickly. I must have watched that thing back like a bunch of times. I complain about this on my like knockoff Digibros Let's Play channel that nobody watches. Yeah.
Well, I apologize for that. There's one guy whose letter is getting read in the next episode of The Gecko State because I found it in my closet, unread. So, you know.
Yeah.
And it was a great letter too. Is the funny part, or the sad part rather. But yeah, you know.
Yeah. Okay.
If
so
I find yours, I'll read it.
Thank you. I don't even remember what I said anymore. It's been months. So, my real argument is about subjectivity.
All right.
Subjectivity and objectivity, because everybody is an idiot and doesn't know how to debate this.
Okay.
They don't even know how to introduce the discussion properly.
All right, smart guy. What you got?
So, first off, when you say subjectivity, exactly what do you mean? Because most of these battles are won in definitions.
Okay. If I were to say like subjectivity, I mean that there's no I mean, how do I put it? There's no like objective reality behind the thing. It's just like it's something that does not exist except in concept, I suppose. Like something being good can only really exist in like the eye of the whoever is saying it, because there is no definition of good. You know?
So like now the way that you talked about that, it seemed like, oh, how's my gain, by the way?
You're
Am
fine.
I blowing it out? Okay. You kind of went back and forth between objectivity versus objectivity in art.
Yes.
Do you mean like no objectivity, period? There is no top layer to reality?
What I mean to say when I say that I would say that there is no way to say anything objectively. Like, we can observe the universe as best we understand it, but to call it objective, I think, is just it's hubris to think that like whatever is the top layer that we understand is the top layer of reality, you know?
Okay, but you definitely do agree that there is a top layer.
I mean, I would say that there has to be, because like,
yes, exactly.
If things exist, there must be some rationale behind it. But like, I think to expect that we can understand that rationale, or that it conforms to the rules of our universe, like, you know, to suggest that like there's not a level above that where the rules that we understand might not apply, I think. You know, so like when people say like, oh, math is objective, it's like, well, it's as objective as you can be, you know, as objective as we can observe, but, you know, what's above that? We don't know. So, yeah, I guess that's my stance
My
on
quibble with math is that, like, math doesn't reference anything else other than math.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of the things that I was gonna kind of gesture towards. It is a discoverable truth that is not... It doesn't have to correspond to anything other than itself.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Contradictions are always false.
Yeah.
Tautologies are always true.
Indeed.
That, like, everybody says tautology like a dog is a dog. That's the useless kind. It's not what we're talking about. So
Still
there
always
are
true, though.
Yeah,
Like, by definitionally.
yes, but that's only because you're defining it before you're using it. That's a worthless kind of tautology. To say that all contradictions are true is a useful tautology, because you can use that on people.
Okay, well, how do you say that all contradictions are true?
or on I got turned around in there because I was reading the chat.
Okay.
All contradictions are false.
Okay.
Is useful as a tautology because you can use that on people when they wanna have everything be true.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
So because no matter what, like definitionally contradictions are also false. So
yes.
Yeah, I see.
Exactly.
So
and it doesn't really relate to what the word contradiction even means. They're like it's whatever you want to label it. It will still function the same way.
So do you still have do we still have a disagreement about anything here or?
Oh yeah. Oh, we
Okay.
got a lot because what I'm working towards is objectivity in art, but I need to lay some groundwork.
Okay.
Okay. So correspondence theory of truth. When you look at a cup and I look at a cup and it's the same cup on the same table and we both call it green, we're calling it green because our perceptions are in some way corresponding to some actual property of the cup.
Indeed.
It doesn't actually have to really be green, but it has some trait that makes us both think that it's green.
Yeah,
Would you agree to
I
that?
see what you mean. Yeah.
Okay.
So the cup itself has an objective trait, but what we observe is not necessarily the objective reality of the cup. We just both can recognize that it has a trait that would cause us to perceive it as the same cup.
Right.
Okay.
So if we had some truth vision, we might see it differently, but we're seeing something real. It's just that it's like when a fish moves under the water, the ripples over the top relate to the fish.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, what do you know about the history of the diameter of the Earth?
I don't know anything about the history of the diameter of the Earth.
Okay, so 3,000 years ago, Eratosthenes, I think that's how you say his name. That might not even be the guy. Whatever. It doesn't matter. Like he calculated the circumference of the Earth to within like 500 miles. All right, and he was wrong. That's not the circumference of the Earth.
Okay.
But he was wrong by 500 miles, and the next adjustment was like 5 miles off. It approaches the actual truth.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, and in calculus, to approach something is eventually to equal it.
You know what? I think I like where you're going with this. I actually like the idea that at the very least, if we were to reach a strong enough consensus, then we could say like it was functionally true. But I think we would need to have the opinions of like literally everyone, and we would have to have it somehow expressed in a way like everyone would have to understand how to express themselves as well. Because like when it comes to like someone like me doing reviews and talking about my opinions, I've spent a lot of time thinking about why I feel the way I do about things and like what I value and like, you know, those meanings. And so like I don't think most people have that and can necessarily express why they feel the things they do, or even necessarily like they might flip-flop on how they feel about something, you know, if they haven't given it the full thought and like come to the conclusion. Like I mean, as much as I love Neon Genesis Evangelion, for instance, I've been like adjusting my opinion every time I rewatch it because I just feel differently and I understand something different that I didn't before. So like yeah, I think we could potentially toil away towards like getting to the truth of like what do we overall think is good and bad, but like it would require everyone to be in on the conversation to be able to express themselves, because like
there's something that, like, we got to get in there. It's not necessarily about being consensus, because if it's really actually true, then millions of people can be wrong.
That's true.
And,
I mean,
and what I'm getting at with there is so months and months ago we had what is the best version of this argument that Digi would accept, and what we settled on was,
who is we? Like, are you a part of CERN?
Yeah.
Like, what is like corporation behind this?
I and my girlfriend and like a small handful of other people all moved to the same place to work on each other's stuff.
Okay.
as like a quasi analysis HQ, but we don't all make analysis videos and we don't even all make actual content. But out of the conversations that we have come a whole bunch of content.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's
I have a Let's Play channel patterned after Digibros.
Feel free to say the name of your stuff while you're here if you want.
Oh, all right. So I am Tarbuck Transom. I put all of the possible misspellings of it into my tags so that anybody can find me. Our group is called The Arch, as in The Arch Plays, etc. Our house is called The Archway.
All right, you've got into too much detail. Continue your argument. I don't remember where you were anymore.
So there are real and when I say there's objectivity in art, you were actually one of the people who set me on this path a lot further than I was previously, because thousands of years ago when the world was new and you were into Pony, you were in a debate with somebody about some episode. I don't remember what it was.
Yeah.
And you both agreed on all the traits of the episode. You just disagreed about your order of priorities.
Yeah.
You follow?
Yeah, I see what you mean.
And I would say there isn't a best order of priorities, but those are actual traits. That's objectivity in art.
So, are you just saying that you can observe truths about a show? I mean, you can objectively say that a show is like red, like a scene is red. How do we reach that is universally good?
So, I really like theming. I like strong theming.
Right.
You can, for a certain definition of theming, say with certainty that a show has strong theming.
Yeah, I think you can say that a show has like deep themes. I don't think that necessarily means that it does good with those themes, you know, like, but we could definitely say, you know, like Ava has a lot of fucking themes and it does a lot to explore them. Do those themes resonate with an individual audience? Are they explored well? These are further conversations to have, but I guess we could eventually come to an agreement if people argued about enough. But I mean, people are always going to eventually feel differently at the end of the day. Like there's always going to be some people who are like, well, that just doesn't work for me, or I don't acknowledge that as good, you know?
Yeah, and that is a difference in their order of priorities. But
yeah,
those priorities do correspond to actual traits. So, like, if you have a really long definition...
If you're trying to say that I can objectively say that Ava is deep, I agree. I agree with that.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's one of my conclusions there, is that, like, Ava really is deep.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, I'll accept that as a property of objectivity existing within art that can be talked about on those terms. Like, yeah, I would say so. So,
I fucking did it. We've been talking about convincing you to this since your whole objectivity doesn't exist video.
Yeah. I mean, it's an interesting argument because, like, I agree, but I also don't think it's like about the same thing as what I was trying to say in that video, which is just to make people stop.
That's usually how these kind of arguments like, tend to play out, is people talking past each other, which is why I laid so much groundwork before getting here.
Yeah, well, I think you did a good job. So
awesome.
Shout out to the channel. But now we're in agreement, so there's no argument anymore. So
all right, Mask, I'm calling you out for not making a video out of this. This is going to be posted to YouTube later, right?
Yeah, I hope so, yeah.
Yes.
All right. Oh my god. All right, it's 9 o'clock. Do we want to keep doing this? Have we done a good run? I'm starting to get tired.
I'm getting a little tired.
I want to like plan the game better next time because I've had no idea what I've been doing in the game.
Yeah.
Like, I need to know. I need to learn more about how to play PSO2 because like I'm getting bored of playing it because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. So yeah, 2 hours is pretty good. I think I had a good time. There's a lot of good arguments. That last guy was really good. I felt like I learned something. All right, everybody. That's it for this stream. I don't know when the next one's gonna be. We'll determine based on how badly we want to play PSO and argue with the whole internet. But bye.